Firstly, welcome to New York and congratulations on leading the 2023 European team to victory in Rome last year. And congratulations on being named back-to-back captain, something we haven't seen on the European side since the early 1990s, right?
That's correct, yeah, and it's great to be here in New York, just an amazing city, amazing energy, and to have this opportunity to be captain again for Europe is really special. It's really a great honor, a blessing. I've said it many times that moment when we won in Rome was the best and the highlight of my career, and to hear those 12 guys shout 2 more years was certainly for me a personal moment of joy and honor that they would want me to come back and represent them again as captain. So I'm very excited about the opportunity to be here in New York, and I can't wait for it to all kick off in just under a year's time.
Keegan, you've had a very eventful last 3 months, being named U.S. captain in July, followed by a victory at the BMW Championship in Colorado in August. And then you secured the winning point for the United States team at the President's Cup just a little over a week ago in September.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple months. My life is consumed with golf, and sometimes, when things happen in my life, I'm shocked. And the past 3 months have been some of the craziest, most exciting, most nerve-wracking months of my entire life. But I have to pinch myself a lot, and this stretch of my life has been really incredible, and it's an honor of a lifetime for me to lead this U.S. team here at Bethpage Black. It was a dream to play in another President's Cup, another team event, and to win the point made it even more special. But this is a dream come true for me. I love Bethpage, I love New York, and like I said, it's an honor of a lifetime.
Thank you. Luke, your team's qualification process began at the Belfry last month, and it's a little different from previous years, correct?
It's slightly different. The same 6 automatic qualifiers. We've streamlined that into one list now instead of 2 that it was previously. I think it makes it a little more simpler for the fans and the viewers to understand. And we made a few changes just to because of the changing landscape in golf, and we wanted to create something that we thought would give us the strongest 6. And then we have obviously 6 picks like we did last time, and to round out our team. And I think it's a great qualification system to give us the best and strongest field we possibly can get for this Ryder Cup.
Keegan, your qualification system will look very similar to what the U.S. teams have been of past. I know you've been contemplating a number of captain's picks for some time. Is there any news you'd like to share today on where you've landed?
No, we're going to keep it the same. I think the point system does a great job in identifying the 12 best players. We play our elevated events and our majors, carry so much weight, and I think that's important with how strong the fields are. Week to week, the pressure of playing in these big tournaments and these majors, and that shows up on the points list.
Luke, you have won all 4 cups that you have played in, including the last time the Europeans won in the United States in 2012 at Medina Country Club. Everyone knows how complicated and how difficult it is to win an away Ryder Cup. How familiar are you with Bethpage, and do you think it's going to feel a little different here than in Chicago?
Yeah, I'm relatively familiar with Bethpage. I played my first U.S. Open here back in 2002. I played in 2009. I've played some other events here at Bethpage. It's a great course, a state park, in the middle of Long Island in the New York area. It's an amazing place that's open to the public. Just a very special place to have something like that host major championships is very special. It's a big golf course. It's a tough golf course. And it's going to be a great venue for this year's Ryder Cup. But yeah, New York, I grew up, well, I didn't grow up. I grew up in England, but spent a lot of time in Chicago, where we played in Medina. New York has a similar feel, even to more of a degree. It's both great sports teams, sports cities, just a lot of energy, and certainly they're going to bring that to this Ryder Cup in Bethpage.
Keegan, Bethpage Black is a golf course that you are tremendously familiar with. You've mentioned that it's America's course. What exactly did you mean by that?
Well, what makes Bethpage so special is, we play public golf courses on the tour, but so often, it's thousands of dollars to play the course. But here at Bethpage, if you're a local, it's very affordable to play. And, you ask any New Yorker, they are so proud of Bethpage Black. This is their course. We have incredible courses in the area, Winged Foot, Shinnecock, but the real New Yorkers, they talk about Bethpage. They all have a story of playing with their dad, with their waiting in line in their car, and going out and playing Bethpage Black. And that's an extremely important thing for our team. We love Bethpage Black. We know how important it is to New Yorkers, and we're going to go out there and love every second of it.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and open up the floor and the Zoom line for questions for the media. For efficiency purposes, all of those on the Zoom call, please type your name, affiliation, and question into the chat box. And let's go ahead and begin taking questions first right here from the Times Center. I see a hand or two up over there. Let's get a microphone up there. Please let us know who you are, where you're from, and who your question is for.
This is Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post. Question for Keegan. Keegan, how much of an education for you in captaining was the President's Cup with Furyk and the group there? And as a follow, where do you stand on trying to make the team as a player?
So it was really important for me to be around the team. First, it was going to be a vice captain, and then, obviously I played, and I wasn't in that vice captain role. So it was important for me to remember the nerves of these tournaments. It was important to remember the preparation that goes into it, and I was able to really watch what Jim and the vice captains did, created an atmosphere for us to succeed and to do well and be prepared and know who you're playing with and have a real plan. As for me to play, it's always a goal of mine to play on the Ryder Cup teams. It's so far off now that I'm not going to worry about it. Once we get closer to the tournament and I'm up there on the points list, then we'll start to think about it. But, I'm focused now on being the captain of the team, and that's it.
Just a reminder for those on the Zoom call, please type your question into the chat box. We're having some technical difficulties over here, so thank you for that. We're back at the Times Center with a question in the back. Hank?
Yeah. Hank Gola, formerly New York Daily News, Met golfer right now. Keegan, Medina didn't turn out for you, but it started really well. What can you take from your pairing with Phil in terms of, you went in with kind of rookie pressure and you turned it into magic. How can you use that experience to guide your rookies and also to kind of set up your pairings to try to recreate that chemistry?
Yeah, so Medina, I played Luke a couple times at Medina. Do you remember?
Thanks for reminding me.
But I really, early in my career, I really took for granted Phil's leadership that he gave me and what he, I was playing with one of the best players to ever touch a golf club. An alternate shot, he just said, we're going to play your ball. Things that I took for granted over the years, knowing who I'm going to play with in every cup that I play on. And what Phil did for me is he created a relaxed atmosphere. And he told me, don't worry about putting it 4 or 5 feet by, I'll make him coming back. Like little stuff like that, really, it helped me. He mentored me before the event, took me to dinner, talked to me nonstop throughout the year about the pressures and what's going to come. And I really learned a lot. And it hasn't been till now that I've really realized what an incredible thing it was that he did for me. So it's important that I communicate to the veterans, the team, to do that for these rookies or these younger players on our team.
We're still at the Times Center with another question over here, please.
Yeah, this is to Luke, Matt Ward Golf Today. Luke, you're captaining as a return. What's the most important thing that you've learned this time as captain now that you'll be on different soil than what you did the last time? Is there anything in that? And I have a follow-up to Keegan.
Well, obviously, it was a very successful campaign. We were successful in Rome, and there was a lot of things that I did that I think will continue over into this captaincy. Of course, there's some changes. You know, it's one of the hardest things to do is to win an away Ryder Cup. You know, and I'm going to have to adapt a little bit. Some of the advantages I had with, you know, home crowd support, I've lost that advantage. You know, setting up the golf course, I've lost that advantage. So it's about coming up with different ways to try and counteract some of those disadvantages and trying to turn them into something positive. And again, there was a lot of learnings from that Ryder Cup in Rome, and that we will take to New York, but there's some differences too that we're going to have to implement to give our team any kind of chance.
And follow up to Keegan, how do you see the golf course being set up, without divulging too many secrets now, but how do you see the golf course being set up given what you've seen from U.S. Opens and PGA Championships having been played at the Black?
I mean, the Black is, when you go play the Black, you know it's going to be a tough test. You know, that's just Bethpage. Big holes, a lot of drivers. I expect it to play tough like it always does. What's great about Bethpage is the arena that we're going to be playing in. So, you know, the holes, especially on the back, and just the atmosphere of Bethpage creates a real environment. And, you know, so I think it's going to be exciting no matter how the course setup is, but I anticipate Bethpage playing tough like it always does.
Thank you, Matt. Can we get microphones over here? Look, Gabby, I think, and Rex. Rex first, then Gab.
Thank you, Julius. Rex Hoggard with the Golf Channel. Keegan, for you, I know you said it's a long ways away, but what would be the challenges of trying to play and captain if that were to happen next year?
Well, you know, just getting the pairings in after the session, managing, preparing to play with preparing the guys and preparing getting the pairings ready. I think it would be a really difficult job, but I've made a promise to myself that I am not going to worry about this until the time comes if I do. It's really difficult to make the American team every year, so you have to go out and really perform. Like I said, right now my focus is on being the captain, but I'm still a full-time player. I'm still playing in all the majors and all the big events next year, so I have a real shot at doing this, but for now, I'm focusing on my guys and getting them ready to go.
Gabby?
Gabby Herzig from The Athletic for Keegan. Obviously, the environment at Bethpage Black, we can anticipate that it's going to be very energetic, very lively with the New York fans. Will that impact how you captain the team in any way, or even how you make your captain's picks?
Well, it's going to be an intense environment for both teams. New York is an incredible place to play, but they expect you to win and win your matches, win your game, win your whatever. So we know we have to go out there and perform for the fans to be behind us, but we're looking forward to the challenge of what it is to play a Ryder Cup at Bethpage, the fun it's going to be, the loud cheers, the excitement. I definitely think the Ryder Cup in particular accentuates a certain type of player, and especially at Bethpage, you got to be ready for that intense atmosphere.
Luke, do you anticipate captaining your team in any particular way, specifically for Bethpage Black?
As I said before, you know, the advantage we had in Rome and being home is you feel that energy and you can feed off it from the crowd. And then, you know, obviously when we come to New York, it's going to be very pro-American. I think the good thing about New York is it is a melting pot. There's lots of different cultures here. I see it as a semblance of what our team represents as well. So there will be some support, which we didn't have in Whistling Straits, which was really tough atmosphere. But you know, it is going to be likely pro-American, and we'll expect that and be prepared for that. But the Ryder Cup is special because of that. It's an amazing event. Two rivals going head to head. You know, battling it out, and you want it to feel that way. You want it to be energetic. You want it to have a lot of energy, and certainly no better place in the world than New York to kind of bring that energy.
We're going to take two more questions here before we go to some Zoom calls, and then we'll come back. So, yep.
Jack Milko from SB Nation. Keegan, it's my understanding that Bethpage Black has made a few tweaks to the golf course speaking with their superintendent last week. I'm wondering if you could touch on those changes from your perspective, as well as talk about how many times you've visited Bethpage recently and your plans to continue to visit there over the next year.
Well, I haven't been out to Bethpage in a long time, so I'm not totally sure of the changes. But Bethpage is a really special place for me in my golfing life. I came to St. John's University in Queens, wanting to play golf, and going to Bethpage was the first major championship golf course I had ever seen or played. And Tiger had just won there, and I really got a sense of how special and grand Bethpage is. And this is what a major championship course looks and feels like. And I really fell in love with New York through Bethpage. I just love the essence of what Bethpage brings in the public course and the vibe you get when you go there. I love the red course. It's just a really fun place to play golf.
Mark?
Mark Cannizzaro from the New York Post. This is for both Luke and Keegan. What is your plan with regard to live players, choosing them as captain's picks?
I'll start. I mean, the DP World Tour's policies have been very consistent. There's been a lot of clarity around that. It's really the same as it was in Rome. You have to be a member of the European Tour or born in Europe. And if you fulfill the regulations and the rules that the DP World Tour set, then you're eligible. So there's a bunch of live guys that play on live that they're eligible now. So I can pick them at will.
For us, I'm going to take the 12 best players. So if we feel like there's a few guys there, one guy, two guys, whatever it is, then we're going to do that. But we're too far out to figure out how this is all going to play out. But we're definitely going to take the 12 best players, however that shakes out.
Let's leave the time center for a moment and go to some Zoom call questions. Greg, who do we have up first?
John Sward with Sports Illustrated has a question for Keegan. Are you involved already with course setup at Bethpage? And do you feel there are home course advantages to be had in terms of setup?
Well, I know that the home team definitely has a lot less say in the setup than it used to. I remember, my first couple, I think the home team had a pretty serious say in the course setup and where the tees were. We lose the United States. I think it's 3 or 4 months before the tournament. We have no control. We have no control of the tee, the pin positions or where the tees are. So, we have a small little role in that, but, truthfully, we're still out there going to play golf, and, it doesn't matter really how the course is set up. We're going out there and playing against each other. So, but I know, through in the U.S. side, 3 or 4 months beforehand, we have no say in the setup.
Greg, Zoom again.
Dave Shedlowski with Golf Digest has a question for Keegan as well. What did you learn from Jim Furyk at Royal Montreal that you will take with you into next year's Ryder Cup?
Well, I think what Jim did great was, we got off to that incredible start, and then the second session we got beat 0-5, which was pretty shocking. And he just stuck with the plan. He didn't panic. He didn't change the pairings. He kept everything very level. And I think that was a time in the tournament where he could have panicked a bit and decided to switch the plan up. And it was very clear that he was going to stick with the script and, go with what they had figured out before the week started. And I think a lot of the players responded well to that.
Greg, let's stay on Zoom, please.
Adam Schupak from Golf Week has a question for Luke. Do you consider your team the underdog?
When you're playing an away Ryder Cup, I think you have to be the underdog. Just looking historically, Whistling Straits, the result there was very one-sided. Hazel team was pretty one-sided. Valhalla, we were fortunate to come back in Medina, but the last few times we played away, the results have been pretty one-sided towards the U.S. So, yes, in a tough environment, we will be the underdogs.
Greg?
Also from Adam, Keegan, are you buying that?
No, I think, Luke, these guys really love playing for Luke, and they're going to love coming into Bethpage and trying to shut up the fans, the players. It's a very unifying thing to be on a team and come into a hostile environment. So we know that. We know how tough they are. We know how great of match play players they are and how much they care about the Ryder Cup. So, I think obviously the home team has a bit of an advantage, but, they get to come in and us against the world, and that's always tough to play against.
Greg, let's take one more from the Zoom call, and we'll come back to the Time Center for other questions.
Garrett Johnson from Beyond the Clubhouse has a question for Luke. What does Sergio Garcia need to do to have a chance to make the team?
Well, first of all, obviously he resigned his membership a couple years ago, but we have had some chats. He's considering rejoining. I'd have to follow all the rules and regulations like everyone else, and if he does that, then again he will be eligible to partake in the Ryder Cup.
Thanks, Greg. Let's come back to the Time Center and see if Mia has some more questions. Yes, looks like we have some hands up in the back.
Philip Reid from the Irish Times. Question for Luke. I think we saw last year Rory's emergence as a true leader within the team. How have you observed how he first treated as an exhibition and how he has emerged as a true leader now?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a rude awakening for Rory when he made those comments before his first Ryder Cup, I think 2010, right? And pretty quickly found out, that it really isn't an exhibition. This is the best event in golf, and he said that, after his loss. He'd won his singles in Whistling Straits, but was very, very emotional. And it just shows what it means to the players on both sides. The rivalry, the history of this Ryder Cup, how playing for your teammates really brings out a lot in you. It brings out so much emotion and so much passion. We saw that with Keegan a couple of weeks ago playing in the President's Cup. It's nothing like representing and playing for your country and your teams and trying to do your best for them. It really is no event in golf like it. And Rory, he's been a leader for us, certainly. He understands the importance of the Ryder Cup. He understands that he wants to prepare as best as he can, just like he would a major, to be ready for that Ryder Cup. And, he's always a very strong leader, a strong voice in the team room, and he's great to have on your team because of that.
Thank you.
Hi, Alan Bastable, golf.com. This is for Luke, but Keegan, love to hear your take if you have any opinions. I think from afar, somebody might look at the Ryder Cup captaincy and say, a cynic might say, oh, how hard can that be? You just put out your best players, hope they make some putts, and that's the job. Obviously, that's not the case, but what would you say to somebody like that who maybe doesn't appreciate the role you guys have? Or asked another way, what's the most underrated part of the job in terms of difficulty of the duties you guys face?
It's difficult to quantify, how much input and how much our work has an end result for the team. It really is. You certainly still need 12 good players playing well. You need your top players firing on all cylinders to play well and give yourself a chance. But just for me as a captain, I talk about communication and having a good plan and coming there ready to perform. And I think, that is different for someone coming in unprepared. I think it gives the guys a little bit of an edge, a feeling of confidence that, they have what it takes to perform well that week. So I think that's where our role is important, just to kind of dot the I's and cross the T's and just give the guys a kind of a platform to succeed and go out and play well like they know they can.
Alan, you have a follow-up?
Sorry, Keegan, I know you're new to the job, but has anything surprised you thus far in terms of the demands of what's being asked of you?
No, I mean, it was really, the biggest thing for me was it was a surprise. So I've been sort of, catching up. I was brought on to this a little later than the normal captains are. So I'm still learning how to do all this. But, being in the team room for the President's Cup was a great reminder of how to do this and to get to know the guys and get to know sort of what they want, how they like to prepare, and, use that going forward. But, I still am learning a lot. And I'm picking the brains of, the captains, prior players, and learning as much as I can.
Thank you. Still at the Times Center.
Christopher Powers from Golf Digest. This one's for Keegan. One of your expected top players, Xander Schauffele, had made mention recently of on these Ryder Cup weeks, maybe there's one too many dinners and galas and photo opportunities. Is that something as captain you can even control, and would you entertain maybe canceling one of those nights?
What do you think, Julius?
I think I'm glad I'm not a captain.
Listen, you come into a Ryder Cup and you know you have a lot of obligations. You're going to have to do things that you wouldn't normally do at a major week. That is part of the deal. Xander is a leader of the U.S. team. He is a guy that everyone on the team looks up to, including their captain. He's just an unbelievable person and, a critical part of our team. I think when he says that, he's just trying to look out for his other teammates. He's nothing but amazing in the team room and with the players. So he's going to be great. And if Julius can take a few of the obligations off, we'll do that.
Don't look at me.
Let's take one more from the Times Center. We're going to go back to the Zoom calls.
Yeah,
Matt?
this is a follow-up. Matt Ward, Golf Today. Keegan, you mentioned before about the words hostile environment. When does hostile become excessive? And to Luke, your comments. I've been at Ryder Cup matches when some comments were made to players between holes. It wasn't exactly family dinner talk. How do you prepare players given the environment that New York will be? And how concerned would you be when lines happen to be crossed in what goes on in those matches?
Well, we know you go over to an away Ryder Cup, it's going to be difficult. This is a big event. This is we're all grown-ups, and we know how tough it is to go play an away Ryder Cup. I have total faith in the fans of New York to cheer on their team proudly and loudly. I don't want them to cross the line, to do anything that would affect the course of play. But it's going to be a tough atmosphere. It's going to be tough for both teams. And I think Luke would say, like, you're sort of got to be ready for it. When we come play Bethpage in a major championship, you're ready for this. Is going to be an atmosphere that we're not normally used to. So, but I love the New York fans. I am excited that they're on our side, and I have total faith in them. And the PGA of America already has precautions in place if people cross the line.
Thanks, Matt. Greg, let's go to the Zoom calls again, please.
David Rumsey from Front Office Sports has a question for Luke. Have you spoken to Jon Rahm recently about his efforts to remain eligible for the Ryder Cup?
Oh, I've spoken to John. I've spoken to everyone that is a possibility for being on that team. It was great to see John, do what he needed to do to remain eligible. To see him nearly win in Spain last week. He played not last week, a couple of weeks ago. He played very well at the Dunhill. We're in constant communication. Again, I'm talking to all the players, to him, to Tyrrell. It was great to see Tyrrell win last week at the Dunhill. So, again, good communication between myself and all these players is vital, and I've certainly been keeping up with that.
Greg, still Zoom, please.
Doug Ferguson from the Associated Press has a question for each captain. For Keegan, what's one piece of advice or encouragement would you give to the fans at Bethpage? And for Luke, what is one request you would have of the fans at Bethpage?
So I would want them to cheer loudly and proudly for their team. I would want them to, this is a special place to New Yorkers, Bethpage, and they're part of our team. They're going to be with us through the whole week, and I want them to be passionate and loud and excited, and also respectful to the other side.
I mean, I couldn't say any better, really. I mean, I think that's what we would love to as well. The Ryder Cup is special because it is spirited. Passions are high, energy is high. You want to see that amongst the players. You certainly don't want to see the spirit of the Ryder Cup endangered by any way. But again, I think Keegan said, the PGA of America have things in place for if there is, outbursts, or if there's anything that's deemed appropriate, they'll deal with that. Inappropriate, they'll deal with that. So again, we are looking forward to playing in front of a New York crowd. It's going to be fun. It's going to be feisty. It's going to be spirited, and it'll be fun.
Greg?
Phil Casey from the Press Association has a question for Luke. Sergio has talked before about rejoining. Do you think that is a serious option?
Yeah, we chatted on the phone a couple weeks ago. He's certainly very interested in doing that. He understands, everything that's involved, and again, the decision has to go to him whether he's prepared to do all that. But certainly, we've had that discussion. Yes.
Greg, still Zoom calls, please.
Matt Chivers from National Club Golfer has a question for Keegan. Team Europe has created the Team Cup to work on team match play conditions and to develop relationships. Could Team USA adopt a strategy like this soon?
Well, we play the President's Cup, in the years that we don't do the Ryder Cup, so I don't see that happening. As a top U.S. player, you're going to do this once a year with the Ryder Cup or President's Cup, and it's great to get the guys all together, but I don't see that happening because of our other tournament that we play.
Greg?
Ben Parsons from Bunkered for Luke. Nicholas Colsart said he'd love to be involved again in 2025. Have you spoken to him about that?
Yeah, of course. Been in contact with Nico. It was great to see him have a chance of winning last week. Rolling back the years, I really thought he was going to do it at some point. He was a great addition to our backroom team as a vice captain in Rome. He's very knowledgeable and very friendly with a lot of the European players. He gets along with them all. He has a great energy, a great vibe. Obviously, I've just named Eduardo and Thomas as two vice captains, but Nico is someone that we're definitely keeping in mind for Bethpage.
Greg, we had a couple more questions on Zoom, please.
A follow-up from Dave Shedlowski with Golf Digest for Keegan. Can you say if Jim Furyk will be with you and Team USA at Bethpage?
So I have two vice captains that I've named, and I sort of had to put this all on pause during the President's Cup because I was really nervous to play and I couldn't think of both things. But now we're going to really ramp up this whole vice captains and the team and everything. So I haven't gotten that far yet, but we're starting to really think about it.
Greg?
Juan Luis Guillen has a question for both captains. You're both competing on tour. There's always a chance you could be part of the team as playing captains. What would this mean for you and your strategy?
I think Keegan's sort of answered that one before. I'm in a little bit different situation to Keegan. I'm not 14 in the world. I'm somewhere like 414 or 514. So my game just hasn't been quite as good the last few years. I still love competing. I love going out there and playing my best and trying to learn and trying to get better. But I'm a little bit older than Keegan. I'm kind of, my view is in 3 years' time for that Champions Tour. So I don't, it would take a big turnaround in my game for me to be eligible. But Keegan obviously has been playing great. He's one of the best players in the world. He just secured the winning point in the President's Cup team. And, the way he's been playing, then, I think it's, every chance of playing his way onto a team. He's playing that well. So, again, for me, I think it's a little unlikely. For Keegan, more likely, I would say.
Greg, I think we have time for maybe two more Zoom call questions, and we'll come back to the Time Center to see if anybody has a question.
From Doug Ferguson with the Associated Press for Keegan, can you say specifically what precautions the PGA of America has in place in case the crowd loses its mind?
Well, there's going to be people walking around inside the ropes that are going to be monitoring the situation. It's really important to us, the U.S. side, that it's a fair place to play for both teams. Nobody on either team wants this to get uncomfortable or weird out there. I mean, but listen, you come into Yankee Stadium, you come into Madison Square Garden, you come into these places, it's a tough place to play. And Luke and the boys know that. So, but I have total faith in the fans, and they're going to be loud and they're going to be passionate, and PG America is going to do a great job making sure everything's right.
Greg, final question on Zoom, please.
Martin Dempster from the Scotsman for Keegan. Is there a plan B in place already if you do make the team as a player?
Well, I every vice captain that I'm choosing will know that this is a possibility. So they'll know what's going on in that way. I also have John Wood, who's come on, but I think, my vice captains are all going to be more than capable of doing this, and I hope someday they'll all be captains. So, but again, we're so far away from that I'm really focused on being a captain right now.
Greg, let's go ahead and do one more on Zoom, and then we'll come back here. Thank you.
Silvia Adizio from PJ Italy for Luke. Eduardo Molinari is back on your side. Other than important numbers, what does he add to the team?
Well, he is obviously our stats kind of guru. He works, closely with many players individually as well, 25, 30 guys or so. He understands, the importance of numbers and the importance of strategy through those numbers. But, he's been through this process with me before in Rome. And, having someone with a little bit of consistency, of having those same personnel around you is helpful for me. We know each other very well. We get along very well with each other. And we have a passion for, trying to put in a good plan for success. So, he obviously is a numbers guy, but a very, very smart individual as well, and has a lot of good points of view that I certainly take on board.
All right, that does it for our Zoom calls. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll come back one last time to the Time Center if any media have any questions for the captain. Mark Cannizzaro, I believe, has his hand up, and we're delivering a handheld microphone now.
This is Mark Cannizzaro, New York Post for Keegan. What has have your conversations been, if any, with Tiger with potential involvement, and do you expect him to be involved at all?
So I spoke to Tiger a bunch when the announcement happened. He was really, really helpful, had a lot of great advice. Again, the stress of playing in the President's Cup and then the playoffs and everything that came with that, I've sort of put everything on pause for a second, and I'll be addressing that, in the coming weeks and months. But, I've had great conversations with Tiger. He's a mentor of all of us, and, he's got a lot of great suggestions and things we can do as a team.
Any other questions from the Time Center? Yes.
Jack Milko with SB Nation. This is really for both captains. Luke, obviously last year you took your team to Wentworth, all 12 played, and that really seemed to be a great bonding experience. Do both of you guys envision of establishing a tournament where all 12 of your guys are going to play next fall, perhaps next September, in between that lull between the Tour Championship and the Ryder Cup?
Certainly with Wentworth, that wasn't me pushing the 12 players to play. They were, obviously Wentworth is our biggest event on the DP World Tour. It's, the Players' Championship equivalent. It's an event that a lot of the top players want to play, including some Americans. So it really wasn't me telling them to play. That was just an organic thing from them. I don't really like to get in the way of their personal schedules. They have to perform and do their schedules however they best think will get them ready. So again, it was great to see all 12 play. I think all 12 made the cut. Everyone played quite well that week. It was great to have them all together playing a couple weeks before the Ryder Cup. But that's how they did it individually. They knew that playing that was going to give them the best opportunity to enjoy that event, but be ready for the Ryder Cup as well.
Keegan, thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking all options with the guys. Same with Luke. I'm not going to tell a grown man what they have to do and what they don't have to do, but I think the boys are really interested in coming in prepared, and there's a couple different options for that. One is going to play. One is all getting together and having some matches, and but we're definitely going to take some measures to be ready to play.
Back at the Times Center, Any other questions here? Alan?
Carissa Kelman from Newsday for Keegan. You've played at Bethpage Black when you were at St. John's and on. Knowing the unique challenges that the course proposes, does that lend you to select certain players with maybe specific strengths or even players that have had experience playing at Bethpage Black?
Yeah, I think you'll factor all that in the end. The Bethpage is a big golf course, but you can look at past results. But ultimately, you want to have the players that are playing the best. You want to have the 12 best. So, a tournament that happened a decade ago, who knows how much that's going to factor into you playing well at the Ryder Cup. So we're going to take a look at every single factor that you could think of. And, it's to come play Bethpage, all these boys really want to get here and play. So it's going to be a tough decision.
Alan, did I see your hand go up?
Thanks. Keegan, you mentioned John Wood there. Could you maybe talk through, obviously it's a brand new role for the U.S. Ryder Cup team. Could you talk through maybe the specifics of his duties and how he's been helpful to you here in the early going?
Yeah, I've known John for a long time. He's on board to help us win the Ryder Cup. I don't think there's any job description. That's just what it is. He's there to help the captains, the players, the caddies, the wives. He's there to help us all. And we're grateful for that. And, we're hoping that his addition will just help us be better.
Back at the Times Center for one last question, if there is one. And if there is not, with 3 minutes left to go, ladies and gentlemen, how about a hand for our Ryder Cup captains, Luke Donald and Keegan Bradley.